If you're trying to figure out whether you're better renting your apartment as a short stay rental or as a long stay rental, then this should really help. Wood Property manage thousands of apartments across Melbourne and get hundreds of 5-star reviews from owners and renters. The Wood family have been agents for over 100 years. My name is Andrew Wood, and I'm going to take you through exactly the calculation that you need to do for your property to work out whether you're better renting it as a short stay or as a long stay. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do is figure out how much rental income you can generate from your property. So for a long-term rental, it's a little bit easier. You get a market rent, so figure out how much a week your apartment might rent for. Maybe it's $500 a week, $600 a week. Multiply that by 52, which is roughly the number of weeks in the year, and then just deduct a couple of weeks for vacancy. So that will be your income, which is the total income for the property. And do the same calculation for short stay, but it's a little harder with short stay because the rental rates vary throughout the year for peak periods. It's nightly rates, and then you've got large vacancies. So again, just need to work out what the income is over the total year. Now we're doing this on a per annum basis, so just make sure that you're doing it for the whole year. Okay, so now we've got the income that the property will generate, and that's pure income. One more point, sorry, with the short stay, you need to think about whether that income includes things like a cleaning fee, taxes and everything else, or whether it's the higher rate and the owner's paying for it. We'll come to that a little bit in a minute, but just quickly make sure you're aware of that. So firstly, the furniture. In a short stay, the property needs to be furnished with furniture and effects, kitchen, pots and pans, plates, glasses, everything else. So even if you've got a property that's already furnished, so you say, well, I don't need to outlay anything, you need to amortise that cost over the period of its life. So let's say it cost you $21,000 to furnish that apartment with all of the furniture and effects. And let's say that will last you, or they will last about 7 years. You need to divide the $21,000 by 7, which conveniently is easy maths of $3,000, and then add on an amount that you're going to need to allow to replace that. So things that break, things that need to be replaced, etc., etc. So for short stay, on that calculation we worked out $3,000. Maybe we'll allow another $1,000 for replacement, and that is about $4,000. In long stay, let's assume it's unfurnished, there's zero cost. The next one is services. So these are things like Wi-Fi, power, gas, electrical, all that sort of stuff. Work out what it costs for your property. I don't know, the cost of power and things seems to be ever increasing. Maybe it's about $5,000. Obviously for long stay, that's the tenant's responsibility. They connect to Wi-Fi, they pay their own power, gas and water. So there is zero cost there. Then there's things like supply. So I'm talking here about things like coffee pods, soaps, washing powder, toilet paper, all that sort of stuff. Make an allowance, figure out what it's going to cost you for your property and allow that. Again, for a long stay, that's obviously the tenant's cost. They pay for all their services. You don't need to allow for that. The next one is the booking fee. So this is for short stay, it's like the Airbnb, bookings.com stays, those sorts of things. I think they charge about 15%. Might just tidy up some things here. We'll call that in a long stay, let's call that the leasing fee. So this is the times when you need to get a new tenant, you've got to market it and pay a leasing fee. Depends on how often that long-term tenant changes, but let's say that that is about 1.5 weeks rental. So you basically multiply the weeks per rent by 1.5 and that'll allow for a leasing fee. The next one is the cleaning and the washing. Now I don't know whether you might have actually allowed for the tenant to pay the cleaning and the washing, or you may be paying that or doing that yourself. So even if you're doing it yourself, there might be cost for you to do that. Obviously with long stay, that's zero because the renter does all that themselves. The next one is a PM fee or your time. Now, many short stay owners will actually run the property themselves and manage it all themselves, so there is no cost, but you do need to allow for your time. If you are actually there 24/7 late at night answering questions to potential guests coming in, then that really is a cost on your time. If you actually get someone else to do it, they're going to probably charge you, I think it's somewhere between 15 and 20%, let's say it's 17% of the rent for someone to manage it for you. In long stay, we'll call that the property management fee, and that is about 6%, not a dollar size, about 6% of the rent that you will pay. The next one is a new short stay tax in Victoria called the, commonly called the Airbnb tax. It's 7.5% of the rent. Again, some people are saying they're going to pass that on to the tenant to pay, but again, you need to make sure that that's allowed for in your income. So if you're passing that on to the renter in the income, then they're probably going to have to reduce the amount that they can pay on a nightly rate by that 7.5%. It doesn't apply to long stay, so that is 0. Repairs and maintenance. This is just the ongoing repairs and maintenance of the property. Leaky tap, toilets, occasional painting. I don't know, it depends on the property, how new it is, how much you want to allow for. It might be about $2,000. Short stay renters tend to be a little bit harder than long stay renters, so maybe it's $1,000 for long stay for some of those costs. The last one is compliance. This is under the Residential Tenancies Act in Victoria. It's not a requirement for short stay. For long stay, you can allow about $325 is the wood property rate. For short stay at 0. So there we have it. You've got the income, we've got all the costs. You put a line under there, you deduct one from the other, and that will give you the answer on whether you're better renting your property as short stay or as long stay. It does get a little bit complicated, so please go to woodproperty.com.au, go to the contact button, contact me, Andrew Wood, and I can go through all of the details with you, and I look forward to speaking to you and helping you out and looking after you and your apartment. I certainly hope that helps.